Hey guys, what's going on? So I have here my stack that I read throughout the month of January. And from this stack, I'm going to pull out the top 4 recommendations that I have for the month of February here. I didn't have many that I did not like, so if you want to talk about some of these that are listed here that I've read through, please comment below. And kicking off, the first recommendation that I have is going to be Avatar: The Last Airbender. So this is the first storyline that Dark Horse picked up called The Promise, and as you see here, it was a 3-volume story arc, and so I would recommend this only if you are a the original Avatar cartoon fan. If you went through that series and you enjoyed it, in my opinion, you would highly enjoy this. As you see, the artwork was basically straight from the animated series. The characters, the dialogues, it all follows suit. This could be considered like a season 4 type of storyline here. You leave off exactly where you left off in season 3. So guys, if you enjoy the first Avatar that came out with Aang, I would highly recommend that you pick this up. My only issue with this is it's the smaller book version. I'm not sure what these are called, but it's not the full graphic trades that we're used to. Okay, so next up we have Dog Mendonça and Pizza Boy, and I probably just butchered that pronunciation there. But from what I understand, so this is published by Dark Horse, and I've never heard of this one before, and from what I understand, this was originally released in Portugal, so this was in Portuguese, and Dark Horse, found out about it through some convention, I think I heard, and they picked this up, they translated it to English, and they published it only in these graphic trade novels. So just like that last Avatar that I just brought up, this is that other smaller graphic novel style. And again, I'm sorry, I don't know what these smaller books are called, but so this one is there's about 3 main characters here. You have Dog, which you see here. You have a gargoyle, and you'll see later on it's really just the head of the gargoyle. And you have a demon in the form of a little tiny girl who never says anything. It's just kind of her looks, that she kind of gets her facial expressions that she gets out there. But then you have the regular Pizza Boy, and this is kind of like Fry in a sense from the Futurama series, to where he just kind of fell into this first episode, this first action, and he's kind of stayed with the group. And so this one is a 3-story arc, and you have a lot of fantasy in here. The first one's going to be about the Hitler came back as a zombie, and they have like a zombie rise, and they have to stop that. Then, you kind of fast forward 5 to 10 years later, and you kind of see what's going on with the group. The main Pizza Boy has dropped out, and he kind of came back or something kind of happened, so you see him come back. Then you finish it off, like 20 years later, and they really tie up the main hero, which is really, Dog here. You see he's older in this 3rd series. But this story arc really has full closure on all the characters. There's a lot of character development that happens in just these 3 trade paperbacks here. This is something that I've never really heard anyone talk about. I've never really seen it around. I found this on In-Stock Trade, on sale. The premise kind of got to me, so I picked it up. And wow, this was really surprising to me. I thought the artwork was excellent, and the storyline was there for me. So guys, pick this up. My second recommendation. Okay, so next up we have Superman Unchained, and this storyline is by Scott Snyder, and the artwork is by Jim Lee. So Jim Lee is one of my most favorite artists ever, and this one did not let me down whatsoever. So this was, the New 52 had already kicked off, but this was kind of like an all-star Batman, to where this is kind of a separate, realm, a separate world, and so it didn't really follow the other New Superman, although it's drawn as a New Superman. It didn't really follow that storyline. This was kind of separate. But the storyline here was excellent. You see there's another, so Batman's involved here. You see that there's another super being here who has basically Superman's powers. You know, he's an unknown person. He's kind of neutral. And then he kind of befriends Superman, and things kind of change from there. And you kind of see who's pulling the strings on the back end. But guys, this one was action-packed all the way through. The storyline was there for me. And, you know, the artwork was, you know, one of the best ever by Jim Lee. I mean, it was phenomenal in my opinion. So guys, if you're a Superman fan, if you haven't picked this up, highly recommend to pick this one up, Superman and Change. Okay, for the fourth recommendation, I have here Kill or Be Killed. And this is still an ongoing series. Number 5 just came out last month. So number 6 is right about to come out. Storyline by Ed Brubaker. And, you know, I actually passed this one up. I thumbed through it when the issue number 1 came out. I assumed it was like gangster related, like mob related. The artwork didn't really, you know, get to me, and so I actually put number 1 down. Everyone kind of talked it up, and you know, I just, you know, from my first pass through, it didn't really interest me. So, and I didn't really listen to any other recommendations beyond that. And it was really the store owner of one of the local comic shops that I venture to. You know, he knows what I like, and you know, he was curious why I haven't been picking this one up, because it seemed to fit exactly what you know, what does interest me in general. Well, let me pass up that. Yeah, so he recommended this to me. Number 5 had just come out, so I picked up the number 5 issue, and so I picked up this trade that week it came out. Read through it, and I instantly fell in love with this. You know, I regret not picking up that issue number 1. I'm trying to hunt down issue number 1 and 2. I found 3, 4, 5 at this point in time, but I'm currently subscribing to this one now on a monthly basis, and man, I highly regret, you know, not picking up that number 1 when I had it there. So guys, if you haven't picked this one up by Image, Kill or Be Killed. There's a storyline in here. There's some supernatural involved. The demon's kind of involved. I'll throw that out there, but this one is great, guys. I highly recommend pick this one up. So guys, that's it for this month. That's all I have for you here, the 4 recommendations. Let me know what you think about these. Please comment below. And again, should you like what you see here, please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.